If you have cheap enough power that GPU mining is actually just straight up profitable for you, then just look up your GPUs on hashrate.no and what2mine.com, mine the most profitable coin, and then either just swap into the coin you actually want to hold or sell the coins right then and there to take immediate profits. But for the remainder of this video, I'm going to focus on the rest of us who are still wanting to put our GPUs to work, even if it's not actually technically profitable to do so. And for those of you where that's the case, you're probably going to want to mine and hold your coins to sell later after a coin price increase. Because remember, your real mining profitability is set on the day you sell the coins, not on the day you mine them. But why look at all this now? Well, Bitcoin just broke another all-time high, and usually shortly after that happens, a lot of GPU mineable coins start to randomly explode in price. And we want to get in and mine a stack of those coins before that happens. So let's talk about what GPU coins you can easily stack a lot of right now, which ones have the most potential for price increase, and why anyone would even want to do all of this instead of just buying the coins outright. First, just a quick reminder that nothing in this video is financial advice. I can't see the future. What we will be covering in this video is the hypothetical and theoretical side of GPU mining profitability explained simply. So if that sounds good, then stick around because we'll get right into all of that after this quick word from our sponsor. My personal strategy in mining is to have a diverse farm. A big part of that is having ASIC miners for multiple different algorithms. Not only does that mean less risk as you're not putting all eggs in one basket, but you're also exposed to the profitability of multiple different coins, which could be very advantageous. And with that in mind, there are currently two miners in particular that I'm interested in. The first one is the new at-home Dogecoin miner from 𝗬-𝗦𝗛𝗧. Dogecoin miners are always on my radar as they let you merge mine multiple coins at the same time without using extra power, with more mining rewards coming from new coins being added regularly. And the 𝗬-𝗦𝗧 actually offers top-tier mining efficiency while still being home mining friendly, as it's silent and runs on both 120 and 240 volt power. And the same goes for the second miner I'm currently interested in, which is, well, either the AE1 Lite or the AE0 from iServer. They both also have top tier mining efficiency while still being home mining friendly, but they mine 𝗓𝗨, which is a smaller coin with a smaller network. And I love getting smaller miners for coins like that in order to diversify my farm, especially when they offer excellent performance like these ones do. But where can you get these miners from? Well, why not check out this video's sponsor, Coin Mining Central, which is an online store for ASIC miners with an over 6-year track record of overwhelmingly positive customer reviews. They have all the latest and most profitable miners, from silent home miners to full-size ASICs. They can even provide immersion cooling systems and offer great bulk pricing on ASICs. On top of that, if you're in the US, you can also choose to order directly from their US stock of miners to get even faster delivery and to avoid customs and import charges. Based in the UK, Coin Mining Central prioritizes great customer support, strict personal detail protection, and free worldwide shipping on all miners with no additional payment fees at checkout. You can also utilize their loyalty and referral programs to save on your next purchase. Plus, use my link down in the video description and code 𝗬b at checkout for a roughly $130 discount on every miner in your order priced over £1,000. Like the 𝗬-𝗦𝗛𝗧 that I mentioned earlier. Or if you want to get a discount on the iServer AE1 Lite or AE0, you can use the code 𝗬𝗓𝗨 instead. So if you've been wanting to get some ASIC miners, check out that link below together with the code to save on your purchase. Alright, so first of all, just quickly, why would anyone even want to GPU mine if it's not even profitable to do so? Well, there are many reasons actually, and of course each person's situation is unique. But some examples could be that many of the coins might not be available to buy on trustworthy exchanges, so mining it is a safer way to acquire those coins, or it might be a lot more advantageous from a bookkeeping or tax perspective to mine instead of buying a coin. For example, if you're running your mining operation as a business. There might also be parts of the world where mining is the only option for acquiring crypto, for example if there are no available exchanges in those countries. And finally, believe it or not, some of us actually find mining to be an entertaining hobby, and we're okay doing it even if it is at a slight loss, just because of the fun of doing it. And hey, if the coins actually do increase in value, then we end up making money in the end anyway. And I mean, in what other hobbies does that ever happen? So what coin should you GPU mine, even if it technically is unprofitable to do so? Well, if you really want to penny pinch, then it might still be best to look up your GPUs on #hashrate.no and what2mine.com, mine the quote-unquote most profitable coin, or rather the least unprofitable coin. In other words, the coin that bring in the most revenue per kilowatt hour of electricity consumption, even if that revenue will be a bit less than you're paying your power company per kilowatt hour. Then take those mined coins and, if you want, swap them into a different coin that you want to hold longer term. But instead of that, you might rather want to just directly mine a coin you want to stack. For example, to avoid exchange fees from swapping, to support that coin's network, which is what we're actually doing when we are mining the coins, or to make sure that not all of the daily mining rewards for that coin is just immediately liquidated on exchanges. So let's hop on over to the computer here and we'll look at what coins are easiest to stack right now and what those coin yields could potentially be worth in the near future. Hey guys, so I was just editing this video when I noticed that Coin Mining Central are doing another giveaway. So if you want to go and win another one of these Bitcoin solo miners for the chance of solving a full Bitcoin solo block all to yourself, then go check out Coin Mining Central on Twitter. But yeah, that's all. Now back to the video. Alright, we're over here on the computer and we're gonna have a look at all of these coins in just a second. First of all, I just want to say that I apologize if this part of the video is a little bit messier than you are used to and all over the place. And that's because I want this to be out the same day as I'm recording it essentially, which means that, well, the positive of that is that all of the numbers are going to be as up to date as possible when the video goes live. But the downside is that I won't have time to like script the video and do a bunch of fancy editing to tighten up and all of that stuff. So you're just gonna have to make do with raw, uncut Seb here today. So with that out of the way, let's hop on over to the computer. And first of all, I just want to show you what I mean with, you know, getting in early or whatever I said there in the intro. And essentially, if you just look at the kind of two last market cycles for Bitcoin's price here, we can see that, you know, we had a bit of a bull run, well, a full-on bull run here, like 2021 throughout all the way to kind of finishing just around the start of 2022. Then we had this lull in kind of the market and we had a bit of an uptrend there during like 2024. And now during 2025 is when we've seen kind of Bitcoin go up significantly in price. So what is it that we're looking for in these GPU mineable coins to kind of correlate with this? Well, I have two examples here. So if we look at 𝗧-𝗦, which is a GPU mineable coin, we can see that during the kind of 2021 bull market here for Bitcoin, you know, you can see Bitcoin had this massive uptrend in price, and then, you know, pretty much shortly after, also, well, so did 𝗧-𝗦. And then of course it went down again, had a little bit of a pump here during, you know, 2024, whatever. But then we can see here that during this kind of first big peak up above 100K for Bitcoin, 𝗧-𝗦 had an insane pump here. Of course, meaning that, you know, had you been mining a bunch of 𝗧-𝗦 all throughout this period here and then managed to sell it up here, you would have made a significant amount of money, right? But so what we're looking at is coins like this one, 𝗕𝗘𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 where, well, there is no peak here yet. So obviously with 𝗕𝗘𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, this coin is looking quite dead in my opinion, but hey, also I have no idea. Sometimes coins come back from the dead. But essentially what we're looking for is coins that still have the potential to do a massive spike up. 𝗧-𝗦, that's kind of already happened, you know. I mean, maybe 𝗧-𝗦 will go up to like $100 per coin, but it's probably less likely. But hey, maybe 𝗕𝗘𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 eternity could go up from, about a penny or whatever it's worth now to, you know, maybe not $4 again, but maybe it could at least go up to, I don't know, 30 cents, 40 cents, something like that, which would still be an insane price increase for the coin. So what I have done is I have looked up a 12 card 3070 rig. It's the bog standard GPU mining rig. And I've looked at all of these different coins and how much you would yield per day mining those coins. Actually, let me bring that up on the computer here just to show you what I mean. So here we go, a 12 card 3070 rig. And I've looked at a bunch of these coins to see how many coins does it mine per day. What's the daily coin yield for a 12 card 3070 rig on like mining these coins. So for example, with Eternity that we've already had a look at here, you can see you're yielding almost 280 coins per day mining Eternity right now. And then what I've done is I've gone back and I've looked at the previous bull market all time, well, the highest price those coins had during the previous bull market, which was that bull market in 2021. And I've not looked at what was the actual, peak of the price during the previous bull market, but rather what price did that coin hold for at least a full month. So we can see here for Eternity, it was probably somewhere around maybe 30 cents per coin that Eternity at least held throughout all of the 2021 bull market. So that also informs us in what coins have I actually included in this list of coins that we are going to be looking at today, which is I've only included coins that actually were already around during the previous bull market. So that have been around at least since roughly 2020 or so. Because of course we've had a lot of new GPU mineable coins popping up in these past couple of years. I've decided to not speculate at all on like what prices those coins could potentially reach now that we're seeing new Bitcoin all-time highs and all of that. I just want to look at, okay, these coins that have already been around for a full market cycle before, what coin price were they actually able to sustain for at least a full month during that previous bull run, and how much of a price increase would we see from our mined coins if it hits that price again. So not if it goes back to the previous all-time high, just if it goes back to a price that it's sustained for a full month during the previous bull market in 2021. So I think I've rambled on long enough about that. Let's look at the actual spreadsheet here. So as an example, yes, you can still GPU mine Ethereum Classic. I don't recommend doing so because there are ASICs that are way more efficient. But I included here just kind of as an example. So just to show you what I mean here, last cycle sustained high is what I'm calling this 1 month period. So if we look at Ethereum Classic on CoinGecko here, if it will load, here we go. So we can see that if we go back to the previous bull run here, Ethereum Classic did peak at like $140 almost, but that was only for like a day. What coin price did it actually sustain for a much longer period, a full month? And what I've put there is $75. So that is this line here, this horizontal line here. And you can see that that was for, well, what looks like roughly a full month where it was about that price. So that is what I've gone with for Ethereum Classic. And if we were to GPU mine Ethereum Classic on a 12 card 3070 rig here, we can see we would yield about 0.035 Ethereum Classic per day. So that is what I have in my spreadsheet here. The power to do so is 1416 watts. Then I'm just calculating at a kind of bog standard power cost of 15 cents per kilowatt hour, what it would cost to mine this coin per day, which would be $5.10. And then what I'm doing is I'm just taking this daily coin yield, I'm multiplying it with the, high coin price, the sustained high from the previous bull market, to see how much would this be, this amount of coin be worth at this coin price. So if you held it, sold it at this price, and then I'm just subtracting the power cost, and that gives us our sort of hypothetical daily profit. So if you held your mined coins, sold it at this price, how much would you quote unquote profit from that? And you can see, even if, you know, ETC went back to this price, you would still lose $2.50 per day mining it on a 12 card 3070 GPU rig. So don't mine Ethereum Classic on your GPUs. But I've, you know, sneakily sorted all of these coins with by hypothetical profitability if they reach this, you know, previous high, sustained high from the last cycle. So let's go through them much more quickly than I did explaining Ethereum Classic here. So we can see next coin is Flux. Last sustained high or last cycle sustained high was $2, which actually brings us to daily hypothetical profit of just under $20 after power at 15 cents per kilowatt hour power price. You're currently yielding what, 13 flux per day, which of course would be $26 if sold at $2 per coin minus the $6. Yeah, just under $20 hypothetical profit there. So let's move on further down this list I've got here. Oops, next one is Vertcoin for a hypothetical daily profit, quote unquote, of $42. Next one in the list here, Ravencoin, daily hypothetical profit of $45 per day per 12 card 3070 rig. Keep moving down. We have, next up, Ergo, $50 hypothetical daily profit. Next one is Firo, $68 hypothetical daily profit. Next we've got Epic Cash, $74 for, you know, hypothetical daily profit. Next is Eternity, hey, which we've covered extensively for some reason in this video already. $78.51 in hypothetical daily profit. Again, that is if you mine it with a 12 card 3070 GPU rig, and if you sell those mined coins at 30 cents per coin, which was the sort of sustained high price during the last cycle. Have I said that enough times during this video yet? All right. And let's look at the next one here, which is Raptorium. I was actually not aware that Raptorium was, you know, GPU mineable, so shows what I know, I guess. Anyway, almost $94 in daily quote-unquote hypothetical profit there. Next in the list is Conceal for a over $100 per day profit. Not too shabby at all. And also, this now means that even if it just goes to a quarter of the sustained price it was during the last bull run, you're still making out with like $25 per day in profit there. That is not too bad. Of course, you are technically mining at a, you know, loss, or not loss, but just unprofitably. So yeah, anyway, I'm rambling. Let's move on to our top 3 here. So third place we have Zero for a $120 hypothetical daily profit. Next up, silver medal goes to Grin of all coins, which, yes, you can GPU mine Grin for a daily hypothetical quote-unquote profit there of over $125 per day, and that is at, again, a 15 cent per kilowatt hour power cost, which have been subtracted from this profit here, of course, because we're not looking at revenue, this is hypothetical profit. Now, I've stalled long enough. What is the gold medal winner here? What coin has the most potential upside by these, you know, lines that I've put in the sand here? Let's not prolong the wait any further, and let's hit the button. It is Beam for a hypothetical daily profit in quotations of $127 per day per 12 card 3070 GPU mining rig. And of course, that is if Beam were to go back to $1.50. So if we do look Beam up on our little thing here, we can see that if we do go back to the previous bull run here, Beam did cross and stay above $1.50 for roughly a month here, maybe a little bit less than a month, but there you go. That's the number I've put in my little spreadsheet here, $1.50. But there you have it. Thank you so much for watching, and please give the video one of these if you enjoyed it or if you learned something. Over here, YouTube has put a video that they really think that you will want to watch next. But down here, I've put a video that I think you would really want to watch next. So I'll see you in one of those videos. Take care.